friends, welcome to my channel Chic and Savvy, where we talk about all things relating to planning and budgeting. My name is Carissa, and today we will be budgeting my paycheck for week 2 of August. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's open her up and go to August. So first, let's go ahead and review my financial goals for August. I was able to fill this out with my husband. So this month we are wanting to pay off our Discover credit card, keep to our budget, and start paying off our Citi credit card. So goal 1 is to pay off the Discover card. We're going to do this by using the extra debt money that we have a sinking funds envelope for that we put money in every week. And so our goal is to pay this off by the end of this month. So that way that's free and clear. And then goal 2 is to keep to our budget. We want to try to limit eating out because we feel like we are gravitating towards doing that again. So we really want to just rein it in and stick to our budget. And a lot of that helps with me packing my lunch more. We do budget for my husband to buy his lunch at work because it's just easier. We can pack his lunch too, which we do sometimes, but his lunch at his job, because he works in the medical field, and when you're an employee you get a really big discount at the hospital. So his lunch for like a full lunch is like $4. So that's, for us, that's kind of, you can't really beat that. So it's really for me. I do work at home 2 times a week, so it's the 2 days when I'm at work that I typically buy my lunch. And so even if I could just pack my lunch one day and not have to buy, that would definitely help. And I usually use like the money that I set aside for myself, like my spending money, to cover what I buy. And then not buying anything that we don't need. So that's like, don't tempt ourselves with like going to the stores, buying online, especially if we don't need it. I did buy a few things for myself. I think I talked about wanting to get some clothes. So I did buy a few things, but they were super cheap. And my husband said he didn't need anything. And so with Prime Day, me buying some stuff from there, and then buying some clothes, I feel like now I have to just put a hold on everything because we're getting closer and closer to wanting to buy the house. And I feel like we just need to make that a priority right now. And I really don't need anything. Like, I have everything that I absolutely need. It's just like that itch that you have to scratch, like of wanting to buy something. I know not everybody gets that, but I do. And so I just need to rein that in. Our last goal is to make additional payments towards our Citi credit card. So once we pay off the Discover card at the end of the month, we're going to start making this a priority. And we are going to use any leftover money that we have in our wallet, our $1 savings challenge. And then once this extra debt money is done paying off this, then that money will go to our Citi credit card. And our goal for this is not to, we do want to pay it off, but we want to at least pay it down $1,500. I think that's our goal, because all of these things affect our credit scores, and that's what we're trying to increase. So those are our goals for this month. And so now we have our bill calendar and our budget overview. So we went ahead, if you want to see me setting this up, I set that up last week. I have a video dedicated to that. But we are going to be budgeting our second paycheck of the month. So we're going to check that off right here. And we'll cross it off. Oh well. And we're also going to cross off Friday. So in this blue color, if you don't know how this works, I color coordinate all of our pay dates, and then I highlight our bills, and the bills that I'm going to pay using this paycheck, they're in that same color. So last week was our first paycheck of the month in yellow. Any bill in yellow is what I use to pay with this paycheck. And then this week it's in blue, so any bill that you see in blue, I'm going to use this paycheck to pay for those bills. And I kind of figure out how I want to set up all that at the beginning of the month, so I kind of know going forward I don't have to really think about it. I can just write down, okay, I'm paying off this. I'm paying off this. So it makes it easier for me, and it's easier for me to stay organized when I have a calendar like this. So let's go ahead and get our sheets for this week. So we need our paycheck planner sheet and our cash envelope breakdown sheet. So for this paycheck, it was on the 7th, and this is my paycheck. So we're gonna write August 7th. And then it was my income. And we are going to budget for $13.75. And we also have some rollover money. So last week, let's go ahead and go to that budget really quick. I budgeted $275 for Verizon because I thought that it was gonna go up that much because I joined my husband's phone bill, but it's actually gonna go up next month because phone bills are always like a month behind. So it was just our regular amount. So we have some leftover money with that. So we are gonna roll that over because since that's the case with the phone bill, I have to pay my parents because their phone bill is gonna reflect that I'm still on it. So we are gonna roll over $70 to cover that phone bill. And let's add that up. So $13.75 plus 70 is $14.45. So that is how much we are working with this week. So now we can fill out the rest of our boxes. So if you don't know how this sheet works, I created this sheet myself on Canva, but this budgeting technique is used in many, many different planners, sheets, and what I do is I just create a zero-based budget. So every dollar, almost every dollar, is budgeted in some way. And so for fixed expenses are anything that you pay each month that is a fixed amount. So this is your rent, your mortgage, your car payment, your phone bill, any debt that you have, your electric bill, your water bill, your car, anything like that would go in this category. And so I do separate out my debt because I like to just see it all together in its own category, but this would technically be a fixed expense. So here is where we're gonna write all of our bills. So we're doing the blue. So we have Unisa, that's a debt. So we're gonna put that on the back. And then we have PS, or my husband's PlayStation Plus subscription. And then we have Canva Pro. And then we have Cox. And then Verizon isn't on here, but that's that rollover that we're gonna use. So we're gonna put my Verizon. Okay, and then these two, yeah, these two are gonna be on our debt side. So for the PlayStation Plus subscription, that is $20. My Canva Pro subscription is $15. Cox is $80. And my old phone bill is $70. So let's go ahead and see what that adds up to. 20, 15, 80, 70. So 185. And then we can go to our debt section. And our debt section is gonna have this bill. It's going to have PenFed. And then my husband's student loan. And we are also going to add, so I have a credit card that's paid off, but the way that the annual fee works, they charge me every month for the annual fee instead of at one time. So I'm gonna put that on here. So UNISA is $195, PenFed is $100, my husband's student loan is $53, and this is $27. Oh, actually, let's just do $28. Yeah. Okay, so let's add that up. And also there was a fee because I added my husband as an authorized user, and I guess they charge you a fee for that, which that's dumb, but it is what it is. And so that is $376. So we added him as an authorized user on this credit card because this credit card, it has a balance of 0. And so that would just add to his score as having more utilization and more credit. And this has a good history of being paid. So that would add a few points to his credit score, which is what we're trying to do. So I guess there's a fee for that. Okay, so everything that we need from our bill calendar is written. So we're gonna get rid of this and then we'll bring it back out when we do our save off. So next we can focus on our next category here, which is variable expenses. So variable expenses are expenses that you have, but they're not fixed and they can vary in amount each month. So this is like your groceries, your gas, your spending money, your fun money, anything like that would be a variable expense. So for us, it looks a little bit different because we do live with my parents. So we do give my parents money each week, and that's $250. We do give our moms money each week, and that's $50. And then my husband's spending is $30. And then he gets a little bit of extra money each month. So this is actually the last month that he is going to be getting this. Because he just he'd rather spend that money in a different way. And that's $25. And then my spending gets $30. And then we have gas, which gets $50. Eating out gets $30. Fun money gets $30. And donations gets $5, and my husband's lunch gets $30. So let's go ahead and add that up. We have 250, 50, 30, 25, 30, 50, 30, 35, 30. So 530 is how much we are spending towards variable expenses. So now that we have filled out all of our boxes, we can now determine how much money we have left over to put towards savings. So now we take our income, which is $1,445, subtract our fixed expenses, our variable expenses, and our debt. So we have $355 left over. So that's actually a good amount. It's pretty good for us. So let's go ahead and write out what we are going to be saving. Oops, let's keep that number. What we are going to be saving towards this week. So me and my husband kind of already have an idea on how we want to save this money just because of the goals that we talked about earlier. So we are gonna do checking cushion, our extra debt envelope, future family, Car maintenance. So these are just like more of the priority envelopes. Our savings challenge, Saveopoly, and then our monthly challenge. And then we're gonna do subscriptions, travel, Christmas, and haircuts. I think I spelled that wrong. I added another loop. Oh well. So these are the categories that we want to save $354 towards this week. So now we can allocate how we're going to break down that money. So I know checking cushion, we always want to put at least $5. So we'll subtract 5. And then let's go ahead and roll for Saveopoly. So we have Saveopoly here. So let's go ahead and roll. So last week, let's see, we got the community chest. So that is where we're at. And we rolled a 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So $6 is what we are saving because we were at community chest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So we got the white property, and that is $6 this week. I get this from the LittleBirdieCanada. You can find it on her Etsy shop, and it's a year-long challenge, which I love, and I love how interactive it is. I'll probably be using this for forever because I just like this challenge a lot. And we are going to be saving this money towards Christmas. Okay, so this week we are saving $6 towards Monopoly or Saveopoly. Whoops. Perfect. So now we can look at our other categories. So our savings challenge, we always like to save 10. So let me do 6, 10. Our monthly challenge is our $5 challenge. Let's go ahead and do 15. And then haircuts. My husband just got a haircut, so let's go ahead and do 20. So that way he has enough for the next time. Car maintenance, let's do 10. Travel and Christmas, let's just do 5. And then future family, we'll do 5. And then subscriptions, let's do 10. We have $263 left over. Which I feel like that's still not right. Oh, you know why? Because I forgot a category. So we are missing gifts, and that is also getting 5. Okay, that makes way more sense. Yes. Sorry, guys. My brain was not with that. It wasn't making sense. It wasn't computing. So we have $258 left over. So we are going to put $250 in extra debt because this extra debt is going towards our Discover credit card, because that's what we want to try out to pay off by the end of the month. So we're going to put $250 towards that, and that leaves us $8. And we're just going to leave that in our account in case one of these bills gets rounded up or something like that. I'd rather just have a little bit of extra money in there. So we have $354 minus 8. So this is $346. Perfect. So now that we have all of our amounts, we can decide what we're gonna get from the bank. So let me go ahead and write all of these categories out, and then we will do the breakdown together. Okay, so I have everything written here. So now we can decide what denominations we need to get from the bank. So for my spending, I give myself 30, but only 10 goes into my wallet. So we're gonna do a $10 bill. Eating out, I messed up, I wrote gas, and I don't ever cash stuff my gas, so I don't know where my head was again. Eating out is gonna get 30, so we're gonna do a 20 and a 10. Fun times is going to get a 20 and a 10. Donations is 5, so we're gonna do a 5. Extra debt is 250. We're just gonna do that in the highest denominations, so we'll do $200 bills and a $50 bill. Future family is going to get 5. Car maintenance is gonna get 10. Our savings challenge is gonna get 10. Saveopoly is going to get a 5 and a $1 bill. Monthly is our $5 challenge, so we're gonna do 3 5s. Subscriptions is going to get 10. Travel, Christmas, and gifts are all 5s, so we're gonna do all 5s. And haircuts is 20. We're gonna do 2. Should we do 2 10s for that? Yeah, let's do 2 10s. Because I don't know. Well, I could look in my binder, but I'm lazy. So we'll just do 2 10s to see, so it's easier to have smaller denominations. And now we can fill out the bottom. So let's go ahead and figure out how much this is first. So our total was $346, but we're gonna take out the $5 for our checking that we don't cash stuff. And then we're gonna add in our wallet. So 10, 30, 30, and a 5. So $416 is what we should be getting from the bank. So for $1 bills, we need 1. For 5s, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For 10s, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 20s, we need 2. 50s, we need 1. And 100s, we need 2. So the amount of bills that we're getting are 1, 9, 8, 2, 1, 2. So 23 total bills. And then the values is $1, $45 in 5s, $80 in 10s, $40 in 20s, 50 in 50s, and 200 in hundreds. So that should add up to our total. So 1, 45, 80, 40, 50, and 200. Yep, so we have 416. Perfect. So now let's go ahead and get our sticky note and write these out so we know how to take this, so we can take this to the bank. So we need all of the bills today. We need 1s, 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, and hundreds. So we need 1 1, 9 5s, 8 10s, 2 20s, 150, 200s, $50, 200, and that is 416. Perfect. All right, so we are all good to go to now go to the bank so that way we can then cash stuff our envelopes. Yay! So I'm glad to see that we're making headway with our extra debt, and I'm excited to be paying that card off at the end of the month. Hopefully nothing gets in the way, but we shall see. But thank you all for being by my side throughout this journey, and I can't wait to see where life takes us. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye, friends.